To strengthen our urban core, we brought together community, business, and public safety leadership to coordinate resources to make downtown not just a safer and more vibrant place. And the conventions and sports events and conferences continue to flock to downtown St. Louis, bringing dollars that touch every neighborhood.
You do what you gotta do. Then we follow and rally around you.
That's a legal seizure and search.
Hood Report.
You gonna open my door like that?
Yes, man. You're under arrest.
In the summer of 2023, a community divide in St. Louis had become apparent. The city government waged an offensive against the region's youth, aided by the local media, which painted a picture of lawlessness in the downtown neighborhood.
This video, depicting someone with an assault-style rifle leaving a loft party, circulated in most news stories about the youth,
leading residents without firearm knowledge to believe it was a felonious act, although legal in Missouri. The city government passed a board bill leading to Ordinance 71717, prohibiting persons from openly carrying or displaying any firearm readily capable of lethal force. The deeper issue lies in understanding why St. Louis,
despite its wealth, faces significant challenges. With billions invested downtown, the city was pressured to create an issue with the youth and then tasked with addressing those issues.
Still, instead, officials from Mayor Tashara Jones to Police Chief Robert Tracy and the Office of Violence Prevention vilified the youth, making an assertive effort to ban them from downtown and surrounding areas. In response, I took to the streets with VOP News lead reporter, Voice of Cam, to directly hear the youth's voices on this issue. You can find these videos in the Voices of the Future playlist through the link in the description. What we found were teenagers and young adults just out to have a good time with friends while hanging out downtown. The local media was reporting lawlessness and mayhem, but we found just the complete opposite. These young people were just enjoying life and creating lasting memories of their teenage years. It's easy to look at a group and judge, but without gaining any real knowledge of the situation, then you do yourself a disservice. City Hall was scrambling at that point and constantly dropping the ball. Being pressured by the downtown elite, they had to protect their investment. With billions spent downtown, the youth understand St. Louis has failed them in that area.
But I'm gonna say this, when you go to other cities like Chicago and Atlanta and all of these other major cities that have downtowns as well, they're for the teenagers. So when y'all, like when we downtown, I feel like this is what's to be expected for teenagers to be. Now, I don't think it should be a whole lot of ruckus, no, but have stuff for us to do. All we can do is walk through her. You know what I mean? And we're not learning nothing, ain't no artifacts, ain't no interactive nothing, you know what I mean? Like, we have nothing but time to act the fool.
In a news clip by Channel 4 reporting on the youth, they aired Police Captain Pierre Benoit saying this at a town hall held by aldermen.
I'm all for them at different locations, but not in the downtown west area on the weekend.
That statement by the captain in charge shed a lot of light on the actions of his officers. During multiple filming sessions, we observed law enforcement being more of a disturbance than a solution, blaring their sirens for minutes on end while cruising slowly through high-rise buildings surely could not have been helpful for residents. Police Chief Tracy was trying to control behavior by throwing a temper tantrum through his officers. This young man visiting from Florida was enjoying the city, but found law enforcement to be quite annoying.
How you like the Lou, bro?
The Lou is the spot, man. I like it. I just don't like that.
Right now, I'm looking at a police car, 2 cops with canines in their hand, trying to tell kids that the park is closed. If we keep getting met with stuff like that, you doing nothing but encouraging people to okay, cool, like, I'm gonna be disrespectful now, you know what I mean? Y'all not saying, okay, hey, like, y'all not, I don't know, like, this is too much for kids. That's what I'm saying, like, and then we all just walking away, like, you know, we all just having a good time, and then y'all telling us, oh, get away from the park. Ain't that what the park for?
The show of force was confusing to the young adults. While some took law enforcement seriously, others made a mockery of them. In most urban cities, downtown areas serve as gathering spots for residents during weekends, offering family-friendly events. However, this is not the case in St. Louis City. The city's approach to rules, policies, and laws, often decided on the fly, leaves room for potential corruption. Recent controversies such as alderman convictions in a pay-to-play scheme and the mayor's involvement in forcing out the lead prosecutor, Kim Gardner, have added to the city's troubles.
Attorney Gardner needs to, Circuit Attorney Gardner needs to do some soul searching of whether or not she wants to continue in this position, and the office needs improvement to make sure that they're serving the citizens of the city of St. Louis.
This systematic problem traces back to 1998, when St. Louis decided to renovate the garment district, investing $6 billion over 20 years. Despite converting historic structures into residential lofts, businesses, a movie theater, bowling alleys, bars, and restaurants, the exclusion of young adults from the original planning process hinders their enjoyment of downtown festivities.
Because maybe it's people out here that need people like y'all, that need people like us. They need people to watch. They need people to look up to. So they like, oh, I watch her. I like watching her. She's my favorite YouTuber. That make kids want to get up and do something different. If people just watching people shoot each other all day, grew up watching people shoot each other all day, what you think they gonna grow up and do? Yeah, like you gotta shift the focus to something more important.
Most teens interviewed for Voices of the Future were born during this revitalization period.
They don't understand why City Hall has so much hostility towards them.
They're just St. Louis, period. Like, St. Louis is just negative, hating. It's just not giving. No.
The burden is on the city of St. Louis' government. They have allowed the downtown and downtown west neighborhoods exclusion from the other 77 communities that make up St. Louis City.
Downtown west general boundaries are defined as Cole Street on the north, southward to Tucker Boulevard on the east, westward to Choteau Avenue on the south, and northward to North Jefferson Avenue on the west to Cole Street. The downtown west neighborhood has had plenty invested in it in recent years. City Park Stadium was erected with a $458 million price tag, completed in November of 22. Caddy corner of the stadium is Union Station, which recently received upgrades to the tune of $100 million, with $45 million for a new aquarium. Millions have been poured into upgrades in this neighborhood, like $30 million at Soldiers Memorial, and Metro Transit adding another $10.5 million remodeling its Civic Center station. City Hall sits on the border of the two neighborhoods at Tucker and Market. Downtown general boundaries are defined as Cole Street on the north to Interstate Highway 70 northward, to Carr Street southward, to Lenore K. Sullivan Boulevard on the east, westward to Choteau Avenue on the south,
northward to Tucker Boulevard on the west to Cole Street.
The downtown neighborhood has seen the most investment, with $386 million spent to extend the arch grounds to its eastern border. A baseball stadium was constructed for $360 million with 2 phases of entertainment, costing another $365 million when it was completed in 2014. Washington Avenue, part of the Garment District, extends through both neighborhoods, and from 1998 till 2018, $6 billion was invested in this corridor. The Arch Development, Metrolink Project, and Washington Avenue were all completed around July 2018. The city had big hopes for downtown, and 5 years after major redevelopment, it is still struggling to find its identity. When it comes to our youth and young adults, they should be treated like the future. Every child did not grow up with both parents, and some did not have parents at all. Every financial situation is different, so creating from what you have is the norm. These young adults are the future, and their voices will be heard. Let's celebrate them through the struggle so coming home can be worth the time. Let's embrace those who learn to love. Let's become a community of one. St. Louis City, government tried. Yes, they tried, but we all know trying is just a failed attempt. Until they deal with the groups and people that are actual boots on the ground with the youth and young adults, they will forever be scrambling. Just like the Kia Boys. Don't forget to smash that like button and subscribe for more content on the city of St. Louis and its neighborhoods.
Melissa Harris Perry once said, "We always had a kind of private notion of children. Your kid is yours and your responsibility. We haven't had a collective notion of these are our children." So part of it is we have to break through our kind of private idea that kids belong to their parents or kids belong to their families, and recognize that kids belong to whole communities.